Hey there to my 29 subscribers, my future subscribers, and all the people that secretly watch me without subscribing. I took a trip to the museum with my daughter Kendra, and we weren't allowed to film inside, but I did some filming outside, and I also want to talk about it some. And first I'll show you the signs outside so you can show where I can show you where we're at. So here we are. We're in Alturas, and we're gonna be going into the museum today. Can't really see where the sign is because it's really bright. And sorry about the sound of the traffic, but it's on the highway, so anyway. Now I went and filmed the train that was outside, and that footage was messed up, and so I will go back in a few minutes to get the new footage of it. But I wanted to record this real quick because there's a lot of noise going on outside, and I want to try and get this recorded before the noise gets too loud again. Anyway, so the train that's sitting outside was originally built in 1904, and it's the Southern Pacific 2718, and it was donated to the Modoc County Museum in 1956. And the reason I think it's so interesting is because there's no train tracks around it at all. They actually had to put in a spur from the railroad tracks that we have to the museum at the Rachel Doris Park, and brought the train in and then took the tracks back out. And I thought that was kind of interesting way to deliver something. Kind of expensive, I'm sure, but it worked, and it's been sitting there ever since. Anyway, hopefully I can get better footage of it. If not, you'll be stuck with a lot of glaring sunlight. So I will try to get some footage of it later this evening. So this is the train outside the museum. I did find some information on it, which I should have on the video before I actually show you the train, so you're already going to know that. But when I was in it's either Head Start or kindergarten, I came here. Anyway, I was taken up onto the train, and I wanted to blow the horn, but I wasn't heavy enough, so somebody had to help me because I could hang from it without actually touching the ground. So anyway, that's the train. And then we went into the museum. Okay, so this is the outside of the building, and I won't be allowed to record once we get inside. I know they used to have some stuff to look at out here, so I'm hoping they still do. Not a whole lot. They used to have a ton of like tools and old tools and stuff out here, but not anymore, I guess. I know it's kind of hard to see through the fence, but this is the stuff that used to be at the front door of the museum, and I noticed it when I was editing the part of the video that was messed up, so I thought I'd come back and get a little footage of the tools and stuff that were on display. So there you go. a desk with a mailbox on it. I guess that's probably just for their own personal use. And I don't really know what that is. Somebody might though. So in the museum, we had, when you first walk in, I wish I could have recorded it, but I understand they don't want cameras in there. But when you first walk in, there's all kinds of like pamphlets and maps of the area that you can get for free. And then there's also gifts, books, postcards, and totes that you can buy. When you go to the little room on the right, there's a collection of cowboy memorabilia stuff, photos. That's, I would guess, a big thing around here. Not a big thing in what I'd been through here, but a lot of people here are into like the rodeos and stuff. And there's a collection of military items, as well as a collection from a well-known family. I did notice that a lot in the museum. There's like specific families that have been here forever, and so there's collections that came from the different, well-known families. Anyway, from the entrance, if you go left, then you'll be faced with a sign, and the sign gives you directions to different spots around the museum. And if you go left, well, we chose to go left and just kind of go around the whole museum in a circle or oval. And so we went to the left, and when you first go to the left, there's a display with different kinds of furs and snake skin and different things with little holes cut in it, so you can kind of feel it and see what the different animals feel like that are native to this area. And as you continue going, there's this perm device, which I remember as a little kid. It used to be sitting over the barber chair, but that's in a different part of the museum now. But as a little kid, I remember climbing up in the barber chair and, different people pretending they were putting the perm on me. But it's this metal contraption that's got these things hanging down and looks like a medieval torture device. I don't know, it might have been somewhat, but that's actually one thing I thought was really interesting ever since I was little. And as you continue going, there's all kinds of saddles, guns, swords, knives. There's one spot where I found a pair of shackles, and it said it was found on a deceased prisoner that had escaped. And I don't remember if it said how long the prisoner was missing before they discovered him, but they took the shackles off of him when they found his body and put it in the museum. Sorry, my phone's making noise. Hope it's not too loud. It's next to the microphone, but anyway, there it was. So anyways, you continue around. There's collections of stuff from our local sheriff's office, the police department, as well as a fairly good collection of things from the Modoc Indian War, which, for those that don't know about it, it's a good thing to go to the museum, check it out, and learn about. There's a lot of Native American stuff around here. It's a very big part of the community. So yeah, check it out. And one thing that caught our eye when we were there was what looked like this little mermaid thing. And I guess there was a hoax going around about it. I don't remember all the details. I forgot to write it down. But basically, somebody took the top half of a monkey and attached it to a fish and tricked people into believing that mermaids existed. And I don't remember, I think it said how many times it was done. I don't know. There were a few around the world, I guess, that had done that. But I guess somebody here in this area decided to do it as a prank on someone else that lived here, so they've got that skeleton in there, which is kind of cool. Well, I don't know, probably not skeleton, mummified body. I don't know what you'd call it. But anyway, when you continue around, like I said, there's a lot of Native American stuff in there. There's collections of pottery, baskets, cradle, like woven baskets, cradle boards, dolls, beadwork, dance wands, which those I thought were really interesting. And there's mortar and pestles, which there's a lot of them. So like, go check those out because they're pretty cool. And then I ran into something that didn't used to be there. That's I don't know how new it is because I haven't been to the museum in a while, but they have this, I'm assuming it's a 5-foot replica of, I don't know, you call it a watchtower or something. I'm assuming it's for watching the forest, watching for fires and that kind of stuff. But it's pretty interesting and really well done. I'm not sure who did it, so if whoever did it is watching this, it was cool. Thanks. And I really enjoyed looking at it. And they had a lot of big stuff, wooden projectors, a wooden washing machine, a fan mill to clean grain, and it was saying something about people used to come from around the area and like travel to go clean their grain at this little fan mill that one of the neighbors had. There was a display about a gang that had been hung. I guess they had, I did some research on it after I got home because I have a hard time seeing, so it was hard for me to read the information there, so I had to look some of it up. But this gang had been, 5 members had been arrested, and members of the community, basically from what I read online, members of the community kidnapped the 5 people from the police and hung them in the middle of the night, which is kind of odd. I don't know, maybe it wasn't odd back then, but I had never heard anything about anything like that before, so I found it interesting. There was all kinds of medical equipment there. We had an iron lung, old style, a wheelchair made, I don't know if people know about the old wooden rocking chairs, but that's what it looked like, but it was a wheelchair. An old gurney, an old doctor's bed which just like folds up, and I don't know, it's pretty interesting. And there was displays for an old flour mill, which hopefully I'll be able to go to at some point. Yeah, if I can find out who owns it and get permission to go. Which we're trying to get permission to go to a couple other places in town too. But anyway, there was a display for an old dairy and an old tobacco company that I didn't know was around the area. And believe it or not, even the bathrooms were fascinating. At least the women's. I don't know about the men's, but the women's had this mural painted around the entire room, and it was done beautifully. I wish I would have wrote down the name of the person that did the painting, but I didn't. But go check it out, because that's one thing I really like about this area. There's, instead of graffiti, we have murals everywhere. There is graffiti in places people don't normally see, like, under overpasses and bridges, but for the most part, rather than graffiti, we have murals. So check them out, and maybe I'll post some pictures of them someday. I just thought I'd record a little bit of extra footage here. This is across from the museum, also next to the park. And these are just like little houses that somebody built. I'm not exactly sure the reason. And some statues. And it says Rock Village dedicated to Merville and Olga Vernon, built in 1957. And I don't know if I can get in to get better video, but we'll see. So walking around, we found that it is locked, so we can't really get in, which is a shame because there's stuff in there that's kind of cool to look at. But it says early Modoc County Jail. So yeah, there's the back of a statue. I don't know if anybody was able to see it in the beginning of this section of video, but that's all we got there. Anyway, that's it for now, and I will try to get better footage of the train so it can be in this video, but you'll know by now if I got it or not because it'll be before this. So thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video, come visit our museum. Yeah, come visit the museum, visit the town, and enjoy it and learn about the area. The museum isn't just for this town or even just this county. There are other things, obviously, because I've seen like seashells and stuff, and we're nowhere near the ocean. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll be back in a day or two because I have a chapter in a book to do. Alright, bye.
But the deaf man sees what the blind man hear, and the money on me, 1 4 1 been putting stacks on stacks, 2 chains go grill, based on true story, real spill, kill bill. I'm hot right now, top 5 out of 10. Okay.